take a good look at this space because this is the last time it's ever gonna look like this. Say goodbye. Gonna go in a box for a little bit. What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today, I am moving all of my animals, or rather over the next few days, we are going to follow the process of how to move with your pets. For context, I'm making a big move across states from Washington State up in the Pacific Northwest all the way to Denver, Colorado. This is a 2-day drive. We are road tripping it, so not taking any animals on the plane. This is going to be a car trip that all of these animals are going to have to go on along with me. So I'm going to show you my process through that. Currently, we are 2 days out from leaving, so that's when I'm physically starting this prep to get them ready. All the animals have been fasted, so that's happening ahead of time. So that means that they aren't being fed anything, so that hopefully during transit, they're not going to poop, they're not going to have anything in their systems to upset them. Some people say fast for 24 hours, some people say fast for 48. I have found that with my animals, especially the reptiles, 48 hours before travel is perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do a couple of days in advance, just because I'm a little bit short on time, I'm going to do some of the legwork ahead of time and leave Kuzan in here for now. He's not leaving his tank, but just pack up some of this, loose decorations. So hopefully you can see what I've done here is basically just consolidated some of the more breakable stuff, and then Kuzan is still just going to be able to hang out in there. He just has all of his decorations moved around. I don't know if you can see his little face down there, but he will still be able to chill in this tank up until we move, and then at which point he will be moved to a Tupperware, which we'll talk about the Tupperware when we get to that step. But for now, we're gonna do the same thing with the snake tank. The packing saga continues. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and pack up the reptiles. So the leopard gecko and the snake and the turtle, those three we are going to pack up first, and then we will worry about the musk turtles downstairs, and then last thing will be the axolotl. So first off, what are we transporting the animals in? I have a bunch of Tupperware containers, and then also, of course, I have two 5-gallon buckets. So I'm planning to use this for decorations, and then this for filter equipment. And then for the axolotl, I do want to put them in a cooler to just try to keep it more consistent, and maybe some of the other reptiles too. Oh, and then finally, the last thing I didn't mention is this carrier, which you guys have seen before. I think I might just stack the reptile containers in here. Hopefully they'll all fit in here. But that way they can all just kind of be consolidated in one space and then not jostle around as much. Now that you have my reptile moving inventory, let's move some pets. Okay, first up, Kuzan. Buddy, it's time to move again. This is also kind of an all my pets video in a way, I suppose. So now I can properly pack up this entire enclosure. The only thing I'm going to take is this little water bowl. Take it out so that the gecko can have water when we stop for the night during the one stop on the trip. And then for Sienna, I actually put some aspen inside of the container from her habitat so that she can kind of have a place to hide and a scent that she is familiar with. And then I don't know if you can see, but she's already burrowed straight in there. And I'm pretty sure that was out of focus the whole time also because I just reset focus. But needless to say, this container is also escape proof, so she's not going to be going anywhere. Next up is the biggest setup that I'm going to have to break down, and that is Hoku's tank. I'm going to take Hoku out, unplug everything, and we'll go from there, I guess. You can see, there he is. And there we go, turtle in a box. Okay, so for the filter, I want to keep it as damp as possible. So what I'm gonna do is just take the entire filter and stick it in here. Since I'm gonna be draining this tank water, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean out this sponge, and you can get a good visual on how dirty this intake sponge actually gets while I'm at it. Normally, I would definitely do this in a separate bucket so that it doesn't dirty the tank like this, but because I'm draining all the water, I don't really mind it. And this is proof that my tank really isn't that clean. It just looks clean because I have a good filtration system, and I do water changes. And then I'm just gonna take this whole filter and put it down here in my bucket. Now, I'm sure not all of this water is gonna make it to Denver, but it's sure worth a shot to at least keep some of the filter wet so that it preserves some of that beneficial bacteria. Okay, so now you can see that this tank is now empty. I just have like maybe an inch left of water in here, and that's just to make sure the substrate stays wet, hopefully to preserve some of that beneficial bacteria. When I get the tank started again, it shouldn't be too much more heavy. And yeah, that's basically it for tearing down this tank. I just gotta move it to the car, and then I just have to break down the stands and then do the same thing with the axolotl tank. All right, it's empty again. All right, so now I have this little travel kind of container that used to be Sienna's old tank, and I am going to load all the reptiles up. These two guys can go on top like so. So I have yet to retrieve the musk turtles. I'm gonna get them in a minute, but basically this is just how it's gonna be. All right, so now it is time to get the musk turtles. As you can see, I have 3 Tupperware containers here. Because there are 2 females and 4 males, I'm going to be splitting it up evenly and taking 2 males and 1 female and leaving behind 2 males and 1 female. This 75 gallon is actually staying behind, and my family is going to be taking care of it because it's kind of in the family living space. So we got to load up the turtles and then wake up or go to sleep for a few hours and then wake up in a few hours to begin the drive for the move, and you'll get to see how we packed the truck and everything. Yep. All right, bye. Alright, so we have the reptile cooler here, and then, the reptiles here, the cooler in there, and yeah, we're all packed up. Let me show you the truck. Don't be shocked how big this is, but here's the truck, and we've got all the tanks in here, nice and secure, stuff in between to kind of brace them so that they're not wiggling around, and then a tie secured all the way across so that they're not gonna jostle too much. And then it's on top of this mattress pad, this old mattress pad that we had, because this will also help absorb some of the impact. Also over here we have the buckets, and these are secured into the wall, so those are not going to tip over. And so with all of that packed up, we are more or less ready to roll. We actually were not supposed to have a truck this big, but we were supposed to have a truck that was half this size, a quarter of this size, but that was a snafu with the rental place. So I mean, I'm not complaining. We didn't pay any extra to have more space, but apparently I have a lot of stuff. Oh, it's too bright, hold on. So we have about 5 hours left of driving. Not a ton to see quite yet. We're kind of in the desert part of Washington, Oregon, Idaho that we're passing through. Anyway, that's my little check-in. I will see you guys once we get to Idaho, or maybe before then. Alright, so we just made it into Twin Falls for the night, so we're just going to do a little check-in with the animals. I anticipate that I'm going to have to change some water with the axolotl, and then we'll go to bed and wake up and do some more driving in the morning. But here is everybody. You can see we're all doing okay. Here is Sienna, looking great as usual. Hi, girl. Hello, Kuzan. Looking good in there. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty dirty in there. So we're gonna put some of the old water into this tub. I'm gonna take that stuff out, of course, and then put some more fresh water in here. I have some Seachem Prime with me, and we're gonna condition it and then put a little bit of fresh water, cold temperatures, of course, and then put the axolotl back in his container. So the water is still not super clean, but at least now he's got some fresh water in there to reduce some of the ammonia that probably built up. And this is partially the reason you fast your animals, to try to prevent this sort of thing. So we made it to Colorado. We are here driving on I-70. I know it's super windy. I'm not sure if you can actually hear me, but just want to let you know we made it. We're gonna check the animals in the hotel once we get there. But look at this view. You can see like mountains over there, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. Happy to be here. Gorgeous sunset. Can't wait to get where we need to go.